Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Mardia. I'm a lawyer, a leadership advisor, and I was one of the panelists at SiTara's Story, Our Children, Our Future conference last year. Today, I'll be diving deeper into 3 questions from that panel about improving family communication and relationships. Now, as we make our way through 2023, I want to encourage you all to take stock, to reflect, and if needed, to change something that can really improve the quality of your experiences within your family and also within yourself. Now, one of the main reasons I'm here on video is to let you all know that we want to hear from you. This is a space where you can bring your stories, your challenges, your questions, and your learnings. And in doing so, everybody in this community ends up feeling more supported. And so, given my past experiences in youth services, plus my current work with leaders, my insights today will focus on self-leadership. So, what you can do as an individual to improve your family communication and relationships. So, we have 3 questions. The first one is, who and where can you go for help about children and family issues? Now, I can and I will start with a list of fantastic services that you all heard about at the event if you attended, from the Youth Coalition of the ACT to the Phoenix Sisters, to SiTara's Story, to even online communities such as reachout.com, or something deeper and more personal with a mentor are all options that are available to you. What I want to focus on today is a personal insight, which is what's more important than the source of your support is for you to make it easy for yourself to receive help, right? So rather than getting the absolute perfect service and sort of staying quiet or isolated until you find that service, I just encourage you all to start the dialogue with a circle of people that you already trust. Now, it can be a family member or a close friend, but I encourage you to be brave and to ask for recommendations from the people you trust. And you'll notice that I said talk to people you trust, not just people you know, because confidentiality and safety are really important when choosing family support that is right for you. And to help you do that, pay attention to the experiences that you've already had that you liked and the network that you can already use. So just as a starting point, you may reach out to this community or reach out to the panelists at this event or reach out to the people you connected with, right? But the greater point is to know that help is available to you and to believe that you can find it and have the mental stamina to keep looking for help when you or your family are going through a hard time. You know, sometimes it can be uncomfortable when we're going through challenges, and you can enter a mindset like where it seems too hard, right? You start to think, who would understand this? Or no one can help me. And listen, we all feel that way sometimes, and that's okay. It's just because we feel something doesn't mean it's the absolute truth, right? There's another part of the truth, which is there may be people that you trust, and it's important for you to know that the help is available to you. And so my point is today is to make the process as easy for yourself as possible. Yeah. All right. The second question we have today is, how do we encourage kids to come talk to you about how they're feeling? So how can you start the conversation? This is a great question. And so let me ask you something. How do you decide if you want to talk to someone about how you're feeling? The answer may have something to do with whether the person makes you feel safe or if you trust the person, right? And so that's partly who you have to be in your family, a safe person that your family trusts. And in terms of how you start the conversation, as always, build the foundation first, right? On a day-to-day basis, how genuinely interested are you in your children's lives and getting to know them as human beings? Do you ask them about what they think, how they see the world, how they feel about certain concepts? How normal is it to have meaningful conversations in your family and also to talk about feelings, to talk about a joyful or sad or frustrating part of each other's day and to help each other through it. Right. So the way to get children, or really anyone, to start talking to you is for you to build that trust rather than to make vulnerable conversations infrequent, and only take place when there's something wrong. Right. Because if you're both out of practice when it comes to talking about your emotions, it's much harder to navigate challenging times. So yeah, build the foundations. Start small, start daily, and start to normalize talking about emotions. And as you actively listen to them, help them go through every day, highs and lows. Another thing to be mindful of, again, because we're focusing more on self-leadership today, which is how open are you when a child is telling you something that's hard for them? Do you jump straight to conclusions, offer solutions without listening? Do you get impatient or criticize them? Really ask yourself, what are you like when a child comes to you? What's the experience for them? And so modeling openness is really important to signal to a child that they can speak with you. And it doesn't mean that you accept or you're okay with every single thing they say or do. We just want to communicate boundaries in a strong way, in an understanding way, without attacking them. And so how do you do that? Ideally, you start a conversation with the positives. So you offer affirmations, you let them know this is what you're doing right, and you assure them that you want the best for them. And your tone is very important when you do this, for you to be as calm as possible. If you can, it may be hard sometimes to be playful, have a bit of a smile on your face, as much as you can. I understand it's difficult sometimes. It's only next when you've started a conversation with that affirmation, you can then provide some boundaries, right? I like a sentence structure that is known as the both and frame. It's quite common in mediation. It's quite common in, family conversations too. Let's use an example. Let's say if a child is struggling at school and you're noticing that they're using their phone a lot as distraction. I'm going to use 2 ways to communicate that to them, and let's see if we can see the differences between the 2 styles. One way is you've been doing so badly at this subject recently, and all day you're on your phone, right? You can't keep doing this, and I'm going to take away your phone. You have to study harder, and you have to stop going on your phone, because otherwise you're going to fail this class, and then what's going to happen? So that's one way. And let's just contrast that to, I know school is really hard right now. I can see that you're struggling and that it's frustrating for you. And I also know that it's really fun and easy to be on your phone right now. And listen, I want you to enjoy yourself. And I also know that you're really capable and you're really smart. So how about we talk about what you're finding hard right now and what you need? And this way, we can come up with a way that you can enjoy yourself, be on your phone sometimes, and also focus on school. See the difference? The second one is a lot more compassionate, it's collaborative, and it also still holds them to that high standard about what they're capable of. So yeah, would love for you guys to give this a go and let me know what impact this has. Oh, and by the way, if any of you want further information about anything that I've said today, please reach out to me. Very, very happy to help. Yeah. Okay. The third question is, what does an individual need to resolve their own cultural identity issues? Oof, I absolutely love this question. Man, save the best question for last. This is one of my favorite conversations and processes to have with my clients. And really, there are 2 levels to this, the way I see it. One is the support people need, and so the outer infrastructure of change. And that's where community comes in, right? I talked a lot about that in question 1, but here people need insight and support. People need mentoring and mirroring. Sometimes representation matters, right? When we see that other people are going through this journey and they've done this, or they've created a certain relationship with their parents or their children, we tend to believe more that it's possible for us too. And so the community aspect is very, very important. What I want to end today's video on is inner infrastructure, right? It's the work that you do in here, and it's the structure that you build in here to be yourself, to be the most authentic version of you for your family and the people you love. It's only if you do this deeper work of knowing yourself that this alignment happens, right? With your cultural identity and also your evolving identity as a human being, as a parent, as an employee, an entrepreneur, a leader. And really, there's no shortcut for that. So in terms of the how, right, I'll mention a few things that are involved in this really big journey of self-discovery. You know, it includes deeply knowing your values, some of your core wounds and your beliefs, your stories, and also your standards and visions, right? It involves processing certain things from the past and gaining enormous clarity on your present. It involves connecting with who you want to be, what you want to teach your children, and why. So being deliberate about your identity is a huge part of the work I do with leaders, and it makes an exponential difference in their personal and professional lives. So yeah, imagine what's possible for you, for your family, for your career, for your sense of self, if you say yes to this journey. And I'm really thankful for those of you who raised this question, because in addition to community support, individual transformation is also crucial for our evolution, right? And it's also how we make things better for ourselves and the people we love on a very practical and sustainable level. So yeah, thank you everybody for these wonderful questions. If any of you want further information, as always, please reach out. Lots of love.